Welcome to 90s November. Let me tell you something. This is the 1990s, alright? This day and age, a man has to have choices. A man has to have a little bit of variety. I love this movie. I will defend this movie. One of the best ensemble casts. One of the biggest budget experimental films. Speaking of 90s, remember these side-snap cardboards? Oliver Stone is a borderline madman. Fuck Quentin Tarantino. I love the man, but he's only made 3 pictures that are better than this. Maybe 4. I don't know how many of you were music obsessed in the 90s, but when you went to go get this soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks ever, you turned it over, no track list. It just said, produced by Trent Reznor. Dude, we went wild. The best movie of the 90s. I'll see you tomorrow. 90s November, come on. One of the best films of all time. One of the most quotable movies you've ever seen. Don't shoot it, bitch. It's a house cat. Kerry Woods produced this. Johnny shot it. It's a lesbian cat. One of the most beautiful looking movies. I'm friends with a lot of people who made this and a lot of the actors that are in it. You got me for a damn BB gun. Funniest movies as well as haunting. It fucks with people's heads. How can something so beautiful be also so dark? It's just perfect. This just came out Criterion Collection. You can watch it on F'd Up Movies. And Crenshaw, rest in peace, when he passed away, they painted a mural on him in Nashville, and they used a still from my movie and not Gummo. That's pretty crazy. I told you, don't give you new shoes, you handyman. 90s November Day 3 is Fire Walk With Me. Might just be my favorite movie of all time. 1992, some people didn't like it when it came out. My friend group, we worshipped it. What's better than Twin Peaks? Drug-fueled, sleazy, nudity, almost NC-17 Twin Peaks? Sign me up. One of the most haunting stories. It's like trauma Twin Peaks. This is like my crown jewel of my 4K collection. Someone took Twin Peaks missing pieces, which this is where it came from, and cut it into Firewalk with Me. So there's like a 3-hour version you can watch it in an archive. Twin Peaks, the show and the movie, 2 of the best soundtracks. And as good as the TV soundtrack is, the 2 best tracks of the whole oeuvre, The Pink Room and Blue Frank. And they're both from Fire Walk With Me. Fire Walk With Me. Me! Hey listen, I'm done telling you there's no such thing as so bad it's good. If you want to sound foolish, you go right ahead. Day 4, Samurai Cop, 1991. It's one of the funnest movies. It'll blow your dick in the dirt, or whatever you have, to whatever's below you. Amir, he could make a movie. He's been directing films since the 60s, but the late 80s, over here in the States, some of the craziest action movies. This is kind of Lethal Weapon. It's also kind of Pulp Fiction. You know, Quentin just saw that Italian and that black fella walking the screen. He just said, I gotta do that. If you liked like Demons, I just told Tron he loved Demons. He's gonna love this. You can watch it for free on the Tubi. When this came out, I bought 2 of them. Cut to me and my brother. Those pictures were taken just today. Plus we have Melissa Moore, royalty. Melissa Moore is royalty. The trailer from the re-release, they really leaned into the bad. They even called it an 80s movie. Silly first guy. But the second guy, he nailed it with the trash. Day 5 is Shortcuts. One of the best movies ever. 90s November, we're kind of going 70s art house. 1993, the amazing writer Raymond Carver, when he passed away, Robert Altman took all his stories, intertwined them, and so it's a bunch of little shortcuts of all his stories. It's brilliant. It's wonderful. I went through a huge Robert Altman phase and I went through a huge Tom Waits phase. And so this has intersected in my little shortcuts. Robert Altman made this the year after he made The Player. Still to this day, one of the best movies about movie making. Everyone who was cool, not just A-listers, anyone that was cool took part in the shortcuts. Way too many people to name. If you haven't seen it, please watch it. Internet Archive. It's the Criterion Collection RIP, so you can watch a good version of it for free. And if you've ever seen Magnolia, then you have to see this. Day 6 is Reservoir Dogs. 90s November continues on K-Billy's Super Sounds of the 70s. Man, the movie that introduced us to Quentin Tarantino and Lawrence Bender. 92. One of the most quotable movies of all time. Listen, buddy, the best soundtrack. I know. Half our lexicon came from this movie, but the biggest one with us is I know. Steve Buscemi was the king of the low-budget late 80s. The whole cast is great. Probably Quentin's best acting role, too. Interesting thing to do with your friends. Who's the star of Reservoir Dogs? To me, it's Steve Buscemi and Chris Penn. I love Chris Penn. Chris Penn was in Shortcuts yesterday, but I love the whole cast. Old school 15th anniversary DVD. Watch Reservoir Dogs. You can just watch it on the internet somewhere. Day 7 of 90s November, American Movie. It's such a great film. It is the quintessential documentary about filmmaking. Released in 1999, took them 2 years to shoot it, took them 2 years to cut it. Chris Smith and Sarah Price made this. It's about Mark Borchardt trying to make his feature Northwest and his short film Coven. I should be wearing my Coven t-shirt. I also have Mark's autograph. I also have my first press release ever refers to Jason Heath as Mark Borchardt. I'll take that as a compliment. Now, on his adventures, he has Mike Shank with him. That is like the best dude. He almost steals the show. Now, I can't find either one of my copies, so I watched it on Internet Archive. This picture has every f-stop known to man. Day 8 of 90s November, it's 7. Oh my God, I remember seeing this on the big screen. In the audience, I was telling everyone, this is 9 Inch Nails. And then at the very end, last thing, it's, you keep me closer to God. And I was like, bam, I'm right. David Fincher, the king of the music video. Just for fun, go look at his filmography. He directed Cold Hearted Snake by Paulette Gould. Loved that video. And She's Like the Wind. Patrick Swayze. This was his second feature after what the studio system did to him on Alien 3. This was like hardcore director vengeance. And he won. Howard Shore did the music. It's so good. The cast is amazing. 7,622 seconds long. Just rewatched it. Found 2 plot holes. But it made me so thankful that I got to see this on the big screen. All right, hard drinkers, let's drink hard. From Dusk Till Dawn, 9/6. We talked about how quotable Gummo, American Movie, Reservoir Dogs is. Nothing compared to this. Jesus Christ, Pete, you bucking for early retirement? We could not talk without quoting this. Cast is phenomenal. Microwave will kill you faster than a bullet. Now this is for sure Quentin Tarantino's best role. Now you know what everyone says, or at least back in the day. I love the first half, a hippie high on weed. No, the second part's awesome too. The digital effects suck ass. But Nicotero's doing the practical effects. That Michael Parks John Hawkes opener, you can't beat it. Richie, it's just flat out amazing. Would you do me a favor and eat my pudding? The editing is crazy. Please. Day 10 is Female Mercenaries on Zombie Island. Happy birthday, Justin. I love you. 1995. This is the alternative cinema Blu-ray. Alternative cinema. Dropping the ball on G-string vampires, but we're here to celebrate this. 6,666 seconds long. That is true. Too many stars to name. Krause, Such, Demko, Giglio. You can watch this for free on Plex. And watch it because we are revisiting this franchise in 2 days. The special effects from this, they aren't online. I had to take a picture with my talking device. Phone. Written and directed by Gary Whitson, and he's in it with Sal Longo and Aben Warren. This is big budget Wave. I love Wave. Ed Wood is day 11 of 90s November. Pull the string! I love this movie. It's Tim Burton's best picture. I know a lot of people would disagree with that, unless you're a filmmaker or in the entertainment industry. This is wonderful. The soundtrack, Howard Shore, no Danny Elfman, so good. 7,622 seconds long, and this is an amazing cast. Not just Martin Landau winning Best Supporting Actor. There's not a weak link in here. Not a one. Edward D. Wood Jr. and his usual gang of misfits and drug addicts. Almost a little too close to home. Day 12 of 90s November is an absolute fail. 2008's The Mad Doctor of Zombie Island. It takes place 2 years later, but it was shot 13 years later. I apologize. We'll do an extra 90s one tomorrow. This is magnificent. Not as hated as the first one. From people who don't understand great cinema. Tons of nudity. Tons of crazy special effects by a company that got thanked in the opening and closing credits. Demolition Films. Double thanked for like a green screen PNG that my daughter could do on her phone. But that's half the beauty. It's a wonderful movie. Most of the same girls. This time we got Debbie D. We are missing a couple people from the first one. It's 4,808 seconds long and you can watch it on Tubi. 2008 Wave is like the 90s. Day 13 of 90s November is Serial Mom. Serial Mom, 1994. What a great film. This movie cooks. People that can't tell stories stories should be forced to study serial mob. It is just a train that starts and just keeps going. A bunch of new people, but we still have a lot of alum. Patty Hearst, Mink Stoll, Tracy Lords, Ricky Lake, and then John Waters doing the voice. Hi, it's Ted Bundy. 5,705 seconds long, and L7's in it. Second time they've been on 90s November. If you come up to Barefoot, go up like the psychedelic stairs, and the first thing you see are 2 framed posters, Eraserhead, Pink Flamingos. I love this movie. Super 90s, not even close to 2008. Pain is an abstract emotion. The Dentist. It has to be managed and shaped. 9-6, written by Stuart Gordon, directed by Brian Usna. They're like the best team ever. They've been like 6 or 7 movies together. It's almost like a reverse Reanimator. The Vestron Collection. I love that they're all numbered spines. You can watch this free on Tubi. And you may notice this is a 1 and 2. We're not doing a double feature, but part 2 is also on Tubi. I might watch it tomorrow because I don't believe I've ever seen it, but I own it. Super 90s with the bending of the frame to show Corbin's disassociation. And Mark Ruffalo's in this? I didn't remember that. It's a pretty good picture. 90s horror. It's low on the totem pole for me. But this is pretty good. A man's descent into Crazy Town. And it kind of reminded me of Society, which Brian Usna directed. Parker Posey, day 15 of 90s November, The House of Yes. We're celebrating her birthday a couple days late. This might be number 1. For me, it's probably Kicking and Screaming or House of Yes. This is literally the best. Mark Waters directed this. He's made a bunch of cool stuff. His brother is Daniel Waters. No relation to John Waters. If you were not part of the 90s independent film scene, you might not even know about this. You can watch it right now for free on Pluto. I was going to pick a different Parker Posey for today, but it was not online anywhere. I chose this for you. 1997, 5,101 seconds long. I hope someone in the audience hasn't seen this and they soak it up. If I can give this gift to you, I've done my job. Day 16, Jason Goes to Hell. I felt like I was in hell. Blu-ray, DVD, VHS. Why do I have 3 versions of a movie I hate? That's because I love Friday the 13th. By far the worst in the series. Only Friday the 13th made in the 90s. It has a couple good things about it. The girl gets chopped in half, the cop who melts, and the end shot. Everyone loved the end shot. That was put in to brainwash the audience. Then you leave the theater and you're thinking, oh. I honestly think this whole movie is trolling. I think he was trying to sink the ship during the Paramount New Line transformation. I know I'm not supposed to pick on him because he's a director with 1 eye, but I'm a director with half a brain. I got paperwork to prove it, so it's equal. I hate this movie so much. Day 17 of 90s November, Lost Highway, Criterion Collection. I don't know where you're going to watch this. I suggest you watch it on your phone. Give me back my phone. Someone just supercut fucking iPhone and give me back my phone. That's probably been done, huh? My favorite director and my favorite actor, David Lynch and Giovanni Ribisi. And I was obsessed with Marilyn Manson. And I had written 2 stories about someone finding a tape before Lost Highway. In my first feature, there's a whole scene about people that you don't know stealing your ideas. So they're not really stealing your ideas. Look at what these jokers said. Siskel and Ebert, 2 thumbs down. What a bunch of fuckheads. Remember when this first came out and people said, David Lynch is so mean, when they should have been saying, Patricia Arquette is fearless. For one of the best films ever. 1998, 4th in the franchise. Bride of Chucky. You know, twice in this movie they refer to him as an 80s guy, which is crazy because there was only 1 Child's Play in the 80s. Jennifer Tilly, Brad Dourif, Don Mancini. That's just a recipe for a jam. Ronnie Yu directing this outing right before Freddy vs. Jason. Alexis Arquette's in this one. Now, Don Mancini created this, wrote them all, but right after this, Seed Cursed Cult. This is the last one before he took over in the director's chair. And don't even get me started on that stupid ass TV show. I would rather watch Jason Goes to Hell 1,000,000 times over than watch that embarrassing ass show. Don Mancini, what happened? You were always so counterculture and super cool. I think you can make it up. I don't know what you got planned. I'll help you. Day 19 of 90s November is Waiting for Guffman. It's like Spinal Tap without Rob Reiner. We got 3 of those guys making this. 1996. Written by Eugene Levy and Christopher Guest. He also directed it. And it's wonderful. You either love this or hate this. There's a whole line of movies. For your consideration, Best in Show, Mighty Wind, all made by Guest with a lot of the same people. Parker Posey is wonderful in this. I have seen her audition so many times on Instagram, and I'm not complaining. Libby Mae Brown is my favorite character. And that's another thing, is a lot of people like the characters more than the movie. You can watch this on Daily Motion, not a sponsor. First movie in 90s November where someone hasn't died. But you'll die laughing. Day 20 of 90s November. Trauma by Dario Argento, 1993. I love this movie. Some people say it's lesser Argento. It's definitely 90s Argento. Asia is the star, his daughter. Tom Savini did the special effects. Shot in America, the shot in Minnesota. Frederick Forrest, Brad Dourif, Piper Laurie. This thing is amazing. This is Vinegar Syndrome. You can watch it on Tubi. So good. And yes, this is the movie where Dario filmed his daughter. Day 21, Being John Malkovich. Classic, 1999. Spike Jonze directorial debut. Skateboarding not counted. Charlie Kaufman. Wonderful script. First feature too, I think. I'd never heard of Charlie Kaufman, but from Beastie Boys and skateboarding, huge fan of Spike Jonze. This blew people away. Cast is Kathleen Keener, holy crow. Cameron Diaz is probably best performance ever. I don't even know how to describe it. This was such a big thing. This was an event. Never saw it on the big screen. The day it came out, I think we watched it 3 times in a row and then called more people over. Like by the end of the weekend, I'd seen it 5 times. You can watch it for free, the Internet Archive. There's no way we could do 90s November without this here VHS. Day 22, Deuce Deuce. This is what happens when a bunch of 1990 on the dot. Tremors. It's better than I remember it, and it's got a great cast. 2 things I'll tell you about it. I drink milk and pay my taxes.
I pay my taxes.
There's no way to say this and be cool and not sound like tough guy. What's it called? Edgelord. The director and the writers, I could beat the living shit out of them 3-on-1. Let's make a PG-13 movie, by golly. What is wrong with me? Why do I always have to be so negative? This dude directed Pluto Nash. How did this get made? The show, not the question. Both.
Screw you, Jason, Mr. Exploitation Sleazy Porno Guy.
5,767 seconds long. Tremors. Didn't even know I owned this. 1 dead fingernail. Rushmore is day 23 of 90s November. Happy birthday, Don. I can't tell you how much I love this movie. 100% the best Wes Anderson picture. For his style of writing and his style of even directing to a point, dealing with adolescence is just spot on. That's why Rushmore and Moonrise Kingdom are his 2 best. Go ahead and come at me. Criterion Collection, the best soundtrack. We used to have like a real company, Barefoot, in Tennessee that you could like go to. The soundtrack to Rushmore was playing all the time. My firstborn son went to sleep every single night listening to the Rushmore soundtrack. I never realized how many song titles are in the movie. Sharp Little Guy and Piranhas Are a Tricky Species. Those are both 2 of the Mark Mothersbaugh's song titles. Super funny. Super dark. This might be the best movie of the month. Of course, it can't beat Twin Peaks. So maybe this is the number 2. Day 24. The good old super controversial Romper Stomper. 1992. Theme song is so good that those horns. Now, I have not seen this since the 90s, but it holds up really well. I mean, it made a star out of Russell Crowe. I went through Russell Crowe's filmography. I have never seen a single Russell Crowe movie besides this. I have seen half of LA Confidential. It was the movie we were watching when my dad died. He died in my arms, and I've never brought myself to finish LA Confidential. Not to bring the room down, but we're already talking about shitty material. And another bummer. Daniel Pollock, who played Davy, he took his own life right when they wrapped. But him and Jacqueline McKenzie were the best parts of this movie. Written and directed by Jeffrey Wright, and there's a commentary on here. I've never listened to it. I got this as a gift. I can't wait to listen to the commentary. Matthew Bright's weird masterpiece is November 90s, Day 25. Little Red Riding Hood, told in a different way. Now I realize that this is a Vinegar Syndrome movie, but it's one I don't own. I need to get that Freeway box set because part 2, the Hansel and Gretel one with Vincent Gallo, I miss 90s fake independent films. They're kind of independent film, but made by a studio. Danny Elfman scored this, Oliver Stone executive producer, Brittany Murphy and Kiefer Sutherland's probably their best roles ever. And Tara Subkoff in this, Dream Girl, with the cane and the braces. I'm gonna have to rewatch All Over Me tonight. So many other good people. This is literally like if Sundance and Tribeca could be materialized into one movie. And Matthew Bright was part of Oingo Boingo. That's how Danny Elfman got into the whole mix. Do Real Forbidden Zone. Day 26 of 90s November is Chucky Brown. Pamela Grier is Chucky. Used to be the underdog in Quentin's body of work, but nowadays most everyone's came around. 1997, this Christmas, Santa's got a brand new bag, and I indeed went and saw Jackie Brown on Christmas Day in the theater, opening day. It's amazing soundtrack written and directed by Quentin Tarantino, starring Pamela Grier. Robert Forster, I mean, he's no longer with us, but he got to grace us all with this movie. Probably like the 6th or 7th time I've seen it. It gets better every time you see it. It's long as hell too. Only bad part of this is when Street Life is playing, it cuts right when the solo starts. That's such a dick move from QT. Day 27 of 90s November, happy Thanksgiving. Who's playing on my phone?
I don't like people playing on my phone.
I don't like people playing on my phone.
I don't like people playing on my phone.
2008's Thanksgiving. I keep confusing 2008 with the 90s. Jordan Downey directed this. He wrote it with a couple other fellas. You'll be watching it and you're like, okay, this is good, this is bad, and this is bad on purpose, which I hate that shit. But overall, it's a fun movie. It's like a little bit over an hour and it's free on Tubi. Now everyone's gonna tell you to watch Trains, Planes, and Automobiles or Blood Rage. Those are the two classics. For me, it's Blood Freak. You can watch it for free on Plex. This guy, he smokes some marijuana cigarettes and the motherfucker turns into a turkey, 1972 style. So while you're giving thanks, check out Thanksgiving or Blood Rage or Blood Freak or the one with John Candy. Day 28 of 90s November. The other day we did my Vinegar Syndrome Dario Azia. Now we're doing our Blue Underground Dario Azia. And oddly enough, this got released today on Vinegar Syndrome, part of the Black Friday sale. That means this title has been released by Bill Lustig on Blue Underground. It's got an Arrow release, and now it's got a Vinegar Syndrome release. That is power for what people say lesser Argento. Malarkey. This picture's amazing. The Stendhal Syndrome. When art gives you a physiological response for the bad, heartbeat, hallucinations, paintings affect them, photographs, sculptures. I'm surprised he didn't put cinema in there, but I think he probably did because the cinema we're watching is the Stendhal Syndrome. You can watch this for free on Tubi. It's pretty cool. Return to Savage Beach is 29th, is it the 29th? Day 29 of 90s November. Andy Sedaris' masterpiece, not Savage Beach, the famous 80s movie, 1989. Reverse that, 1998. This is so good. My favorite scene of any action movie. Legit. It's 16 minutes in. The pizza delivery scene on rollerblades with poison darts and boobs, drugging a senior citizen, and she actually takes a fall. It even has hacking the mainframe. I can't express to you how cool that scene is, but the whole movie is cool. It is a Sedaris family affair, written and directed by Andy Sedaris, produced by Arlene Sedaris, and their son, Christian Sedaris EP. You can watch this for free on YouTube, Desire Frames. I usually don't watch straight up action movies, but when I do, gonna be sleazy. Day 30, 90s November. Red Spirit Lake. Final Day? Question mark? God, I love this movie. From the old school Something Weird Video to the new school Saturn's Core, my third favorite boutique label. Cinema of Transgression, Psychotronic, American SOV. This is a double feature. Honorable mention, we await. 1993 is Red Spirit Lake. Charles Pinion wrote and directed and shot it and cut it and everything it. He's in it. His wiener's in it. This is pretty hardcore. I don't know if regular people will like it, but the different people love it. Whatever they're called nowadays. It's a cornerstone of that circle. So many good people, so many good lines. Rich Kern's in this motherfucker. Oh, 2 days of 90s November, we put it for 2008. I'm making those up. So 90s November is going to continue on December 1st to December 2nd, and maybe longer. I just did 61 of these days in a row. It's kind of my new ritual, how I end every night in the studio. Kind of don't want to stop. What can we do for December? December Dames? Celebrate women? Woo woo! Day 31 of 90s November, Dark City. This was directed by Alex Proyas, and it was a big deal because he had made The Crow. This was his follow-up, and it split the room big time. So many people hated it and so many people loved it, which is a lot of times an indicator of great work. I think it's pretty cool. I'm on the good side with this one. A lot of good performances. Jennifer Connelly's underused, which is a bummer. Kiefer Sutherland, another one of his 90s subdued performances. Not that Lost Boys bullshit. The Twin Peaks and Freeway, timid and weird. Very good. I just found out that there's an Arrow video release, but you can watch this for free on Tubi. And don't ever say I'm not a man of the people. This was a request. A good request. 6,006 seconds long. 90s November, day 32. One of the most inspirational movies in the world. To me, to the Broken Spoons, my film troupe, and to other little pockets of broken spoons all across the world. 1992 El Mariachi. We worship this. This tape is older than my kids. It's missing the top, won the audience award at Sundance. I don't know if regular people really like this. I've found a few, but mostly this is like for filmmakers. In my whole life, I've only read 2 books twice. One was this, and the other one was Rebel Without a Crew, or How a 23-year-old with $7,000 became a Hollywood player. Church launched his whole career, like the book title said. If you've seen Desperado, it's basically kind of a remake. I can't even listen to him talk nowadays. His Joe Rogan, he's too full of himself. But amazing. The most quintessential film of the entire 90s. This movie changed my life. Didn't even know people knew who directors were. I didn't even know what an "and" was. I only knew 2 names in the credits. John Travolta and Bruce Willis. I was like, why are they putting him last? Now I act in my friends' movies. I have to be the "and." On its first run, I saw it 3 times in the theater. I had no idea that the guy that kept saying was the director. Now this got nominated for a bunch of awards and had a second run. Always remember my first and fourth, because that 4th time, all senior citizens that only go to the picture show for the Academy Award nominated movies. Sitting there watching heroin overdoses and ass rapes. I've been teasing this for over a year, but I'm working on a video essay called How Pulp Fiction and Primus Changed My Life. There'll be way more than that. But this changed the way everyone talked. Oh, that's cool in the gang. Shit, Negro, that's all you had to say. Garçon will allow me to retort. Give me oral pleasures. And my overused favorite, let's not start sucking each other's dicks quite yet. If you weren't a pothead in 1994, I don't know if you realize how much this changed. The way movies were made, the way movies were talked about, the way everyone copied the vernacular. 5 times on the big screen. My girlfriend's best friend bought me a wallet that said "bad motherfucker" on it. And you know how I repaid her? I gave her 3 babies. Now, I have a love-hate relationship with Clinton. There's some unoriginality, plus he made the worst exploitation film of all time. But his first 3 movies and his last movie make up. I know all the top 5 lists put all those middle ones, the very well-made, boring period pieces. Fuck all that shit. This was the game changer. And that's 90s November. Okay, I can't leave 90s November the way it was. 1995, or the way it is, Todd Haynes. We have to do either 3 more or 6 more. Julianne Moore. More. That means grandma in Swedish, or mother's mother. Safe. This is a wonderful picture. A lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. A lot of my family members call it the Jason movie. Some people consider it a horror film, Criterion Collection, and a crazy period piece, shot in 1994 and a little bit in 1993, but about 1987. So that's even smaller than American Psycho, jumping just only one decade. This is just jumping 6 or 7 years. It's kind of a hard watch. I gotta pause it every once in a while, but it's wonderful, and it's 7,144 seconds long. Day 35, one of the best movies of 1991. Mario Van Peebles, New Jack City. One of the best experiences I've ever had in a theater. Everyone's clothes are the best. The best soundtrack ever. Keisha, Vanessa Williams. I made a t-shirt of her once. Her with her big hoop earrings and the gun in the sky, and she's wearing like gloves. Rockabye Baby. Super quotable. Once you go to film school and you get to see how the sausage is made, there's a lot of stuff that you loved as a kid that doesn't translate. And this, favorite as a kid, favorite as an adult. Mario Van Peebles is a madman. Those opening shots of the city, all aerial photography, the best use of canted angles, Steadicam, cranes, everything is so stylized. Melvin Van Peebles would be proud. And I'm sure he was. This was the first film he ever directed. He did a bunch of television. Am I My Brother's Keeper? Every New Year's Eve, I do a double feature of New Year's Evil and New Jack City. Flavor Flav brings in the new year. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Day 36 of 90s November is good, boring, and bad. Species, 1995. I hate to let some of you down. This was even a request, and I said, oh, I own that. I was talking to our old intern who said his favorite B sleazy movie is Species. I was like, what? Do you not know what a B movie is? And do you not know what a sleazy movie is? So I had to watch it for myself. I've seen it when I was a kid. I only remembered one thing about it. But in the standard paradigm of a Hollywood movie, 3-act structure, first act is good, the second act is boring, kind of boring, and the third act is just bad. I don't know if this is a B movie, and it's barely sleazy. H.R. Giger, that's cool. Favorite part of the movie, the lady from Soderbergh's, Aaron Brockovich, takes a piece of candy. Marg Helgenberger, I rewound it, watched it twice. Day 37 of 90s November, we're getting in the Christmas spirit. I just watched my first 2 Christmas movies, Miracle on 69th Street and Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 4, The Initiation. 1990. It's the Friday 5, Halloween 3 of this franchise. There's barely a lick of Christmas in it. Fun fact, it was written as part 3 and the producers said, no thank you. And then they brought it back. Brian Usna directed it. Richard Band did the score. Screamin' Mad George did the special effects. And it's the Clint Howard one. 1, 2, and 3 are in the 80s. 4 and 5 is 90 and 91. So I only had 2 to choose from. And a female-fronted lead, Neith Hunter? Man, do I love her. She is fearless. Christmas is coming to November. This is Vestron Video. You can watch it for free right now on Tubi. So good. Day 38 of 90s November. Ghoulies 3. Ghoulies Go to College. 1990. First viewing. Kinda hated it until the 55-minute mark. Then it was turned into one of my favorite movies of all time. Very nice. John Carl Buechler directed this right after he directed his Friday the 13th. I love that movie. And Ghoulies always had a comedy tint to it. This, it's not even a horror comedy. It's a comedy. We do get a cool Kane Hodder cameo. A lot of good people in it. Kevin McCarthy, Ram from Heathers, and an actor who I like a bunch. He was in the new Twin Peaks. He's in the news a lot right now. He did a really good job in this. I don't want to be on that engagement train, which is pretty stupid. Going out of your way to not be like other people is probably worse than being like other people. You can't hate me more than I hate me. I gotta watch it a second time. We'll really see what I feel about it then. I just didn't know it was a comedy. I have this old-ass bargain bin DVD. You can watch it on Tubi. The final day of 90s November, we're ending strong. Day 39. Carl Franklin's One False Move. I meet people, even film people, who have not seen this, who have not heard of this. What it's kinda known for is having the world's best commentary. And it's got a good commentary. But here's the weird thing. Fucking Criterion Collection 4K? I had no idea. I thought this was like an underseen hidden gem. Billy Bob Thornton wrote this years before Sling Blade. The cast is amazing. The story is and it's very near and dear to my soul. Kind of city, kind of country, kind of white, kind of black, kind of indie, kind of studio. This is just literally perfection. Carl Franklin, one of the coolest guys on the planet. Actor turned director, came up from the Corman School. No one ever mentions his name when you hear Corman alum. I do, so I literally just watched this movie, prepped the last day of 90s November, went to go see the runtime, and saw that this was Criterion Collection. Top notch. We're ending strong. Go check out One False Move.